Today we're going to do a super cute little sign, and I'm going to be using some of these little arrow signs that I purchased from Michael's a couple years ago on clearance. These can easily be remade, so you can make any kind of sign that you'd like with like a Cricut or stencil or pictures, and that can easily be done with just a little piece of wood. And then the egg that I got was also on clearance. I believe this one was at the at-home store. And then the wood is a 1.5 inch by 1 inch piece of pine. These can be purchased at Lowe's or Home Depot. They're normally with the other moldings and they're going to be on the bottom shelves. You can normally get a 3 foot or 4 foot piece. And then this is an Ashland terracotta pot. This was purchased from Michael's and I believe this one's less than $5 as well. To tie the pot in with my other decor, I'm going to be using combinations of pink. One of those is this pink candy shop is the name of the color. It's by Rust-Oleum. I found that at Lowe's. That's going to be the little pole that goes in the middle. And then the stripes are going to be alternating green and pink. The green is the Waverly chalk paint scallion, and the pink is the Waverly chalk paint and ballet slipper. You can tape these off if you'd like the lines to be more exact or crisper. I just like to freehand them because I do like the crafty look. Once I get all of those painted, then I'm going to start doing black and white checks. Those are going to go across the top of the border, and I'm using the Folk Art chalk paint in white and the Craft Smart black. For these, I'm using two flat, kind of wide brushes, and I'm also freehanding those, but in order to keep the shape similar, I'm doing two brush strokes side by side. So I'm doing a brush stroke to the right, like this, and then one right next to it. I'm using the guidelines for this from the actual Ashland pot. So the Ashland pot, if you saw before, it has two different lines across it, and that helps me to be able to keep the top and bottom lines more precise as well. This is how it's going to start looking after you have a few rows. So I just kept going bottom, middle, top, bottom, middle, top. And then this is what it looks like with all the rows completed of the black. Next, I took the white and filled in all the blank spaces. If you need to do any touch up, you can. It's just paint, easy peasy. And then to mount the stick inside of the pot, I'm using a screw that I purchased from Lowe's and a washer. Now, when you're choosing a screw, make sure the screw is no more than half the size of your board so it doesn't cause the board to split or to break. And then you do want to pre-drill for the screw as well to help avoid that. To find out what size you need to use to pre-drill, I always just take the screw along all my different drill bits here, and you just want to make sure you don't get one any bigger than your screw or the same size. So it needs to be a little bit smaller than your screw. And then you're just going to screw that in with the washer on the outside, and that's going to get everything nice and tight for you. Now to prep all these little guys, since they're their own signs, I'm just taking a pair of pliers here, pulling off the twine. And then I also did want to paint the backs of these so that they don't look unfinished when you're seeing the sign from the side. So once you get everything painted, you're just going to place things where it looks good to you. And then once you have everything where you like it, you're going to use wood glue to attach the signs. You can also use small screws to attach them. I just chose the wood glue because I didn't want the screw to be in the front of the sign. Wood glue, read the directions, and make sure you leave it to set long enough. It'll need a little bit longer time to set than other glues. And then I take a Rust-Oleum lacquer and I cover everything, the pot, the stick, as good as can be. Next, I'm going to add some of these Dollar Tree eggs, and then this is some Dollar Tree foam. And I've got some baby's breath flowers here that are from my Michael's grab bags. I really like the color of these eggs, and I like the fact they're foam, but they were a little bit larger. I would have liked to have found something a little bit smaller, but I still think it's super cute. And then I'm going to take these wooden skewers from Dollar Tree. I break those in half, and that's how I attach the eggs in. So I'm going to stick the blunt side inside the egg, and then I'm going to stick the sharp edge down into the floral foam. I'm going to get all my eggs in place, and then I'm going to continue to fill all around with your baby's breath or any other florals that you have. But this is how it looks. I think it is super cute. I'm really excited. I hope you guys like it too. And remember, if I can do this, you can too.